Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'm WoWcrendor, and welcome back to me talking about Hearthstone cards for the upcoming Ungoro expansion. They've released 50 out of the 135 cards, and that's a lot of cards. I've started to realize how many cards they're actually putting into this. I already made a video talking about, I think it was like 20-ish of the new cards that they released. So now I'm going to be doing one on the 30 more that they've released. I'm going to skip over the ones I did last time, but if you want to see me rate those, I'm putting that in the description below, so you go check that out. So yeah, I go through, I rate the cards based on a fun level. I don't care about ramp druid pyro meta. I don't care about all that. I care about making dumb gimmicky decks out of these cards, and that's it. That's what I love to do. That's why I hope that everybody watches me, because you're definitely not here for the big time gameplay plays that I make, because there aren't any. So yeah, let's get to it. First up, we have Living Mana. Transform your mana crystals into 2/2 minions. Recover the mana when they die. That's such a weird card. So wait, you transform your mana crystals into 2/2 minions, then you recover the mana when they die. So I guess you can get a lot of mana. I guess that'd be useful to use if you use that one thing, Astral Recall, and get all that mana, and then you play Living Mana, and then they all attack or get put on the board, and then you attack with it. I don't know. It might be fun. I don't know for 5 mana though. I feel like this would be cool if it was 3 or 4 mana, but maybe it'd be a little too strong then. I'd say 4 mana might be a little better, but that's just me. We'll see. Maybe there's something I could do with it. It's got potential. I think it's got potential. So let's keep moving on. Next up is Verdant Longneck. Battlecry Adapt. So if you don't know what Adapt is, they're adding a new thing called Adapt. If we go down here, you'll see the Adapt mechanic. This is Hearthstone, by the way. If you want to see all these for yourself, it's hearthpwn.com. That's where I'm getting all this from. The new Adapt mechanic works like Discover, in that you get to choose from 3 random options, and you have Liquid Membrane, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. Flaming Claws, +3 attack. Crackling Shield, which is Divine Shield. Living Spores, which give you 2/1/1 plants when you die. Massive, which is Taunt. Lightning Speed, Wind Fury. Volcanic Might, 1/1. Rocky Carapace, +3 health. Shrouding Mist, stealth until your next turn. And Poison Spit, you get poisonous. So I think it's a pretty cool mechanic. It's allowing for a lot of customization, which is always fun. So back up to this. It's a 5 mana, 5/4. And it gives you an Adapt. So, again, not too crazy, but probably pretty fun. You get to give him a cool ability. You might get Wind Fury, you might get Taunt. Who knows? Moving on. Next up, we have the Marsh Queen. I've already covered Swamp King Dread. If I skip over a card, I've already covered it. It's in my other video. The Marsh Queen. Play 7 1-cost minions, and you get Queen Carnasa. And that's one of the quest cards. So everybody is getting all these quest cards where you have to play cards and you get rewarded for that, and you get a really cool card. So Queen Carnasa is down here, I believe. Here she is, Queen Carnasa. I'm sorry it's not popping up on the right. I just there's so many cards that flooded my thing. So Queen Carnasa, Battlecry, shuffle 15 Raptors into your deck. So it's almost like a Yogg-Saron, because then you get all these little raptor guys like Carnassa's Brood, draw a card. You get a 1 mana 4/3 raptor. You get a bunch of really cool raptors. So she's almost like Raptor Ysera in a way, which I'm fine with. Give me Raptor Ysera any day of the week. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Tolvir Warden. Draw 2 1-cost minions from your deck. And he's a 5 mana 3/5. Man, that's pretty cool. You can play, I guess they're really encouraging these 1 mana decks for hunters in this thing, because it's like, you know, play 7 1-cost minions. So that's playing into the quest card. Also, so I mean, he's all right. You know, if you're playing into this like quest thing, he's pretty fun. Next up, there's Tear Scale Stalker. Triggers a friendly minion's Death-Rattle. So that's pretty nice. If you're doing some like cool Death-Rattle build or something, you just throw him down and then bam. He's got a cool face too. Look at that face. See right there? Look at that. He almost reminds me of a lizard man from what's the Warhammer. That's what he reminds me of. What was that? I just like breathed in and it was like, I think I'm dying. We're all dying, man. Small Raptor is up next. He's a 1 mana, 2/1. When he dies, you shuffle a 4/3 Raptor into your deck. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And that's pretty nice. 2 damage, and then he gives you another card, so that's cool. Next we have the Crackling Razor Maw, adapt a friendly beast. That's a cool one, because then you're going to get to just buff one of your friendly beasts, and you could have a lot of different beasts. There's a lot of different beasts. And imagine if you get like a really strong beast, you give him like Wind Fury or something, or, you know, just think of the possibilities. There's a lot of possibilities with that. I like that. That's a nice card, Crackling Razor Maw. He's only 2 mana. And he's a 3/2. He seems really strong. I like Crackling Razor Maw. Look at how crazy he is. He looks like he'd be a Power Rangers like boss or something. So yeah, those are the Hunter cards. And now we move on to Mage. Mana Bind. When your opponent casts a spell, add a copy to your hand that costs 0. Oh my god. So that's like, it's like Lorewalker Cho, but better. Because it's going to give you a free spell. That's really nice. So you could have, oh my god, you could have a copy deck. Well, actually, I already have a copy deck, but it's all priest-based now that I think about it. You could have you could start working on that mage-based copy deck. Mirror Entities, Mana Binds, Lorewalker Cho. I don't know what else there'd be. But who knows? It's a really nice card, though. Like, imagine if someone casts, I don't know, they just cast Mind Control, right? They cast Mind Control, bam. You got a 0-cost Mind Control next turn. You still have 10 mana to play with. That's really strong and really fun. I think it's strong and fun. So this is a 10 out of 10 card. Mana Bind. I like that a lot. Next up, we got Flame Geyser. Deal 2 damage. Add a 1/2 elemental to your hand. So that's only 2 mana. It's not bad. You know, it's not the most fun card, but it seems kind of practical. But, you know, it's not the most fun card. We're moving on. Next up, we're already at a Paladin. Sunkeeper Tarim. Set all other minions' attack and health to 3. And he's a 6 mana, 3/7 with taunt. So that's actually really good because obviously he's a 3/7. He's going to stay a 3/7. All the other minions are going to be 3/3. So he's going to be able to kill at least 2 of them and still be on the board with 1 HP. And then you might still have minions or whatever. That's actually really, imagine having like all those 1 minion or 1-cost minions and then playing those and then playing Sunkeeper Tarim. Oh my god. I might make a deck just doing that. Just playing Sunkeeper Tarim and trying to buff all those minions and make them really like strong 3/3s. That might be fun because then by turn 6 you'll have a board full of 3/3s. But then again, they might have like a board clear, but it's not about that. It's about the big time plays. You know what, Sunkeeper Tarim? I think he's a pretty strong fun card. I'm liking that. He's got potential to have a deck built around him. Next up, we have bloop, Light Fused Stegodon. Adapt your Silver Hand recruits. And that's it. Which is actually pretty good because there's a lot of decks that build Silver Hand recruits. So imagine just buffing up Silver Hand recruits with like, you know, buff the minions in your hand and then you play them. And then you get some like 5/5s and like 6/6 Silver Hand recruits. And then you give them like adaptations. That's pretty good. I like that. Light Fused Stegodon, he's got potential to make Silver Hand recruits really fun. Next up, we have Lost in the Jungle. Summon 2 1/1 Silver Hand recruits. So that just plays into the Light Fused Stegodon even more. And the Silver Hand recruit deck. And now we move on to Priests. Awaken the Makers. Summon 7 Death-Rattle minions. Reward Amara the Warden of Hope. I didn't remember if I covered this last time. I think I did. So I included it anyway. And she just is a taunt that sets your hero's health to 40, which is crazy. And she only costs 5 mana, and she's an 8/8. That's really strong. Really, really strong. So definitely fun and strong. Curious Glimmer Root. Look at 3 cards. Not cards. Guess which one started in your opponent's deck to get a copy of it. I think that's a fun one. Because you never know. Sometimes you have the same card as your opponent. So, obviously if there's like a rogue card and you don't. But I like this. I think this is going to be an interesting thing to see, because I'm definitely going to mess it up. And there's going to be people being like, how do you mess it up? It's so easy to figure out. But that's going to actually fit perfectly into my randomly robbed deck. And there's another card coming up that's going to fit into it as well. Actually, a couple cards going to fit into it. My randomly robbed deck is going to get really strong. I'm really liking that this expansion just for that reason, because it's one of my most fun decks to play. It's just stealing everybody else's cards. Which takes us to the next card. Shadow Visions. Discover a copy of a spell in your deck. So I'll be able to copy a spell that's going to allow me to steal more cards. Maybe I copy a Thought Steal, a Mind Control, whatever it is. Here's the card I was talking about, though. Mirage Caller. Choose a friendly minion. No, this is the one I was thinking about. This is just choose a friendly minion, summon a 1/1 copy of it. So it's still cool. 3 mana, 2/3. You summon a 1/1 copy of a minion, so you at least get to choose the minion as well, so that's really nice. Because some of the other cards that do that don't let you choose which one, I think. I know there's another card that summons like 1/1 copies. I think it's like Barnes or something, isn't it? I don't remember. Either way, I think it's pretty cool. Next up is the one I was talking about. Crystalline Oracle. Death-Rattle. Copy a card from your opponent's deck and add it to your hand. Boom. Love it. Only 1 mana. He's a 1/1. He does his job. He steals the cards. I like the Crystalline Oracle. Moving on. We have The Caverns Below. The Rogue Quest. Play 4 minions with the same name, and you get the Crystal Core. So what is the Crystal Core? Wait, neutral. Oh, here we go. The Crystal Core is, for the rest of the game, your minions are 5/5? Oh my god. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my god. So if you have to play 4 minions with the same name. So you have to get multiples of a card. But if you do that, then you're able to just have 5/5s all the time. Imagine if you just had all 1/1 cards and you just kept playing 5/5 minions. That's way up there. That's a 9 or a 10 on the fun scale, just trying to pull that gimmick off. I think that'd be great. It's not even a gimmick. They're trying to make you actually do the mechanic, but the mechanic feels slightly gimmicky, so I like that a lot. Because I'm going to make a deck built around that. So I'm going to have like angry chickens and shit. Chicken shit. That's dumb. Yeah, I like that. Next up, we got the Vial Spin Slayer. Destroy a minion with a combo. So you do a combo, he destroys a minion. Everybody's happy. He's a 5 mana 3/4, but that's a free assassinate essentially. So that's pretty neat. Next up is the Mimic Pod. Draw a card, then add a copy of it to your hand. So that's a way of, I guess, playing the same minion. So I guess there's going to be a lot of copying cards with Rogue, especially ones they haven't released yet for Rogue. So I'm excited for that. I'm all about that. Next up, we head over to the Shaman. Kalimos, Primal Lord, Battlecry. If you play an elemental last turn, cast an elemental invocation. All right, what's that? Elemental invocation. Here we go. So I guess you get one of these 4 invocations. Restore 12 health to your hero. Deal 6 damage to the enemy hero. Fill your board with 1/1 elementals or deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. That's really cool. That's really strong, actually. Because they'll cost 0 mana, too. So, Kalimos Primal Lord. If you're playing that elemental deck, you're going to have some pretty strong spells coming your way when you play him. If you make it to turn 8, at least. And next up, so that's pretty fun. I like him. I think that's a pretty cool thing to do. I don't know if you could build it, if you can build an actual deck around him that's gimmicky. Because I mean, they'll just build an elemental deck, and I think that's what they're trying to give shamans here. Unite the Murlocs. Summon 10 Murlocs, and you get Mega Fin. So we head down here to see Mega Fin. There he is. Fill your hand with random Murlocs. He's a 5 mana 8/8. He's crushing shit. I like it. You could never go wrong with summoning a giant ass Murloc. Stone Sentinel, 7 mana, 4/4. If you played an elemental last turn, summon 2/3 elementals with taunt. That's pretty strong. Because then you're gonna have a 4 and a 2/3 and a 2/3, all for 7 mana. That's not too bad. At least I don't think so. There's gonna be someone like the value's garbage. All right, maybe. I don't know if he's that fun though. So I would have to say, he's probably just, like a 4 on the fun scale. Here comes some fun though. Volcano. Deal 15 damage, randomly split among all minions. I am going to definitely use that card. I'm going to make a Volcano deck. It's just going to be loaded with RNG, like Mad Bombers and Matter Bombers and Volcanoes, and we're going to see what happens. I'm excited to do that. Next up, we got Warlocks. Clutch Mother Zavas. Whenever you discard this, give it 2/2 and return it to your hand. So that's really strong because Lakari sacrifices the quest, which I talked about last time, and you have to discard 6 cards. So if you get this, you keep discarding that, that's going to be a spicy meatball after a while, let me tell you. Next up, we have Corrupting Mist. So that's a fun card. I like this card a lot. It's playing into the quest, but it's pretty fun to play. You can practically build a deck around Clutch Mother. A fun deck, at least. Not like, I don't know if you build a real deck around it. Corrupting Mist. Corrupt every minion. Destroy them at the start of your next turn. So, for only 2 mana, and you corrupt the entire board, that's pretty strong. That is pretty strong. I like that. That's a nice board clear for only 2 mana. Your minions are going to die, but sometimes, you got to do what you got to do. Moving on. Warrior. King Mosh. Destroy all damaged minions. That's interesting. So you play something like a Whirlwind, and then you drop King Mosh. He's all alone. You practically Deathwinged him. You Deathwinged the board. He's still got cards in his hand, and you got cards in your hand. But you know what? Pretty strong. I like King Mosh. That's pretty cool. You could definitely build some sort of like little gimmick around King Mosh, like having those Whirlwinds and stuff, and then trying to drop him, and then maybe trying to give him like a rush or something. Like some sort of way, or Wind Fury, maybe try to get him an adaptation or something. I don't know. Next up, we have the Molten Blade. Each turn, this is in your hand. Transform it into a new weapon. So it's kind of like Shifter Xeris, but in weapon form. So you just keep getting new weapons. I like that. That's pretty fun. That's a high up card in the fun scale. Who knows what crazy weapons you'll get. Next up, we have Ozruk. Hold on. Ozruk, and he is a 9 mana 5/5 elemental with taunt. Gain 5 health for each elemental you played last turn. That could be really good. That's, oh my god. If you have no way of like silencing or dealing with him, imagine if you played like a shit ton of elementals the previous turn, right? You play like 5 elementals. Oh my god, he's got like 30 health. That's insane. Oh my god, I want to see how much health I can get Ozruk. If I can just keep playing elementals and just trying to get him like super health, that's definitely got to be a deck right there. Hell yeah. Moving on. Gentle Megasaur. Battlecry. Adapt your Murlocs. That's pretty nice. I'll throw that in a Murloc deck, no doubt. Give a bunch of Murlocs Wind Fury or Poison or whatever it may be. Gluttonous Ooze. Destroy your opponent's weapon and gain armor equal to its attack. So it's kind of like the 2 mana Ooze, but it's 3 mana. So instead of I think 3/2. It's 3/3 now. I think the other ooze is 3/2. And then you gain armor from destroying the weapon instead of just destroying it like the smaller ooze. So that's pretty cool. It's just like a stronger ooze. Volcanosaur. Adapt. Then adapt. So he gets 2 adaptations. 7 mana, 5/6. That's pretty cool. You can give him like +3 attack and Wind Fury. Oh yeah. I keep taking Wind Fury. I love doing damage. Tolvir Stone Shaper. If you played an elemental last turn, gain Taunt and Divine Shield. So that's pretty good. He's only 4 mana, 3/5, so you give him Taunt, Divine Shield. That's pretty nice. That's a pretty cheap, like, he's got the same stats as, what's that card? Shield Master. But if you play an elemental, he's stronger because he's going to have Taunt and Divine Shield. I like it. He seems pretty cool. Moving on down the list, we have Primal Fin Lookout. I love this card. Look at that face. Look at that face. I love that face. He's like, "Roar." If you control another Murloc, discover a Murloc. I like it. It's gonna go right in the old Murloc deck. Only 3 mana. He's a 3/2. You're gonna get more Murlocs. Throw them in. I love it. Next up is Thunder Lizard. Battle Cry. If you played an elemental last turn, adapt. So again, more elementals. They're going heavy into the elementals this expansion. So yeah, pretty cool card. 3/3/3. You could give it some adaptations. Who knows what it'll get? Who knows? Glacial Shard. Freeze an enemy. 1 mana. 2/1. That's pretty good for a 1 mana. A 2/1 that can freeze an enemy. I like that. That's actually a pretty strong card. Could be pretty fun to play around with. And finally, we got the Firefly. Add a 1/2 elemental to your hand. He's a 1/2. Kind of like Glacial Shard, but he's giving you an elemental. And he's got a little more health. So I like these cards. I think there's going to be a lot more cards, actually. So there's still a lot of cards to go. And so far, this is looking like it's going to be a pretty fun expansion. Definitely a pretty big expansion. And I'm excited because Hearthstone definitely needs some new life to it after it's kind of being stale for a while. And I think this is going to add some more life. So thank you for watching. Leave your comments in the comments section below. Tell me if you think there's any cards that would actually be fun that I kind of overlooked, or if there's cards that I thought would be fun that you're like, no, that can't happen because you're dumb. And if you want to see the previous video, again, link in the description. I'll also put it in the end slate if you want to just click it. So thanks for watching. Okay. See ya. How do I click the end button?